Hey everyone, so back in the workshop. So I put a video out of building my workbench the other day, and a lot of people were unclear about how you put a car on it, so I'm going to show you. Legs come off, it lowers, you drive on top of it. A few people were saying that the bench is going to distort and stuff, but that won't happen. It's made out of 3mm thick box section and 10mm steel. The construction of the top of the bench is far in excess of what the van is actually constructed of. The frame of the van isn't even as strong as this steel, so the van will not crush it. Vans only, well, cars in Europe, I mean, they max out about 2.5 tons, which is like 550 kilos per wheel or something, and something of that construction can hold probably 5 times that at least. So yeah, anyway, I thought I'd just put a timer on and see how long it takes to dismantle it or take the legs off and lower it, and yeah, just see how long it takes and how much of a faff it is. I don't think it'll take long, 15-20 minutes max. So yeah, set a timer and then I'll dismantle it on film on a time lapse, and then we'll bring the van in. I've got to jet wash it first, but yeah. Right, let's go. Start. There we go. Still recording. I started the camera recording after I started it. So I started that when I showed you on the camera. I started the camera, I went and got my tools, did everything, and we're at, well, 10 minutes basically. So there we go. It's a 10-minute endeavour to lower the table onto the floor. And now we can just drive the car on top of this. So this van doesn't have the lifting points on the seals like you normally have. Like, these aren't designed for lifting. It's got like lifting points under there. So we'll lift it off for that, and the one at the back. But yeah, lined up, ready to lift. So I've never lifted a vehicle before on a car lift, especially not one I've installed and built myself. Well, not built myself, but installed and designed and everything. So let's see how this goes. Lined up on something. That looks alright. Not too sure about lifting it off those points at the back. I'm not sure that's where I'm supposed to be lifting it from. too keen on those lifting points, to be honest. It's lifting fine, it's lovely and stable and everything. I'm just not convinced by them as lifting points really, but I can't see anywhere else to go off at the minute. So I'm going to have a look. Normally you go off like here, like I say, but this isn't designed for that. It's not supported on the back, and on this side all this is in the way. Fronts are really good. Fronts are fine. You know, fronts have got their own special place to lift from. I'm going to have a look into that. It's a bit unconventional. It's off the ground, and oh look! Look, the bench is still flat. It didn't crush it. That's a surprise, isn't it? Right, so I've assessed this, and these are definitely not where you're supposed to lift from. You're supposed to be lifting up in here, which is where I assumed, but it's just too rotten. I tried it. It's just crumpled it. It literally went. So, yeah, can't lift it from where it's designed to be lifted. So I'm just going to work with caution, not lift it very high until I cut out all this rot and fix that. Once that's fixed, then I'll be able to actually lift it from here where it's supposed to be lifted. It's pretty off the ground. It's a lot better than it being on the ground, that's for sure. But it'd be nice if I lift it higher, but until I've got proper lifting points, that's not going to do me much good, because it's a bit dangerous. So this is why it won't lift from where it's supposed to be lifted from. Yeah, it's all... Yeah, so I need to cut all this out, rebuild it on both sides. I've done a bit in there the other day. But yeah, it's fixable. It's just yeah, I need the van really, and ideally I'd like to lift it up to be able to fix that, but I don't. I'm going to get some advice on this from my neighbour. My neighbour's a bit of a car guy. See if he reckons it's all right to lift it up high on that. Because yeah, I just can't lift it from there. Cave in, and also I need to work on it there. Right, we'll see anyway. My neighbour just came down, he's into cars, mechanic, and he's given me an idea of what he thinks I need to do. So yeah, let's get to it. Bit there, look. There's going to be loads of car guys watching this going, that is not how you do that. But, yeah, I think that gets us where we need to go. That's fresh metal. Right, just need to get that a nice cut there. We'll be alright there then. The thing is with cars is they really are made to fail, you know. Like, this is not a rotten part of the car. It's just like, you can just wobble it about your hands, you know. They just make them really out of really light material. Like, this is a piece of framing, you know. It's just all thin stuff. Now, here's a piece that I've replaced. Solid, do you know. I'm getting more confident having it up in the air and getting under it. I don't like the points it's on, but it's not moving currently, so I think I'm alright. I've got that plate in there. It's not easy to do good welds with such thin steel, but it's not too bad. I just got to weld that from the back and then work on this, but this is going to be difficult because it's so thin. Right, I'm slowly getting this boxed in. This is all the, there's a hole in here under there. It's not my finest work. We just want to get another couple of years MOT out of it. That's all hard. So weld that to there, weld all that in there, weld that, join that all in, put a plate under there, and then this body panel is going to come around here. I might even bridge across there, then cap that off a bit more straight. Right, structural side of things is done. It's actually stronger than it was before. Don't get, I mean, it's messy. This isn't a restoration. This is just get it working for its MOT. So it's got no holes, structurally sound. 2mm steel instead of 1mm steel. Welded all round. Yeah, better than it was before. Well, that's why I couldn't jack it off of the points it's supposed to be jacked off of, because yeah, that's the bit that's meant to stiffen it. So yeah. So that's this is the other side, obviously. So let's get that one fixed now. I'm gonna leave the other side. I'm gonna get some like preserving sprays and stuff and spray all up in there and down the seals before I close it all in. But yeah, let's get that one structurally sound now. Right, it's the next day. Just getting ready to put on 2 more plates. So what's happened here is a load of mud's got in, a little hole forms, a load of mud gets in. There's drainage holes down here that are all blocked up with mud and stuff. Clear all that out, weld a big plate on here, reinforce all this, weld it all back together because this is all crap now, and then we'll blast up some rust preserver in there. That way around. Take a bit of fitting, but that goes in there. Got an identical one on the other side. Squeeze them together, clamp. I'll weld all around it, fit all that to that. Yeah, that'll be good. Right, it's taken me all day, but I've rebuilt all this. It's all in there, welded nicely to this, and I've created a big flat spot here. So it's hot at the minute, so I can't show you too well, but I'm going to be able to lift off of this now. Now this is all. I put in a new seal. Along there, so now it's just bodywork following this, redoing the bodywork. All solid, stronger than it was when it was built. Alright, it's a new day, nice sunny day. So this is all painted up and sorted out. I've got nice big strong flat spots to put my lift onto. Can you see that? Yeah. And I've done the other side as well. Yeah, I've got the other side done as well. I'm going to rust proof it all, but yeah, I've got my big flat spots put in. So now I've got some work to do because my handbrake's not working, so I need to take these apart. I've got a disc I need to change, and then I can put the wheels back on, lower it, and then re-put my lift on these new lifting points I've made, because that is a little bit dodgy, I reckon. Right, let's do some work on the back end here. So in my last video, someone pointed out that the welder wasn't sounding right, and because it's an automatic welder and I don't have much experience with MIG welding, I do have a bit, but because it's a welder, you put your thickness of steel and stuff in, and it does all the settings for you. When it started pulsing, which I did find strange initially, when it started pulsing I just assumed that it had decided that pulsing was the right way to do that weld. And then the weld came out great, and I thought, fine, I'll trust the machine. Probably knows better than I do at this point, seeing as I know very little. And it carried on pulsing, and I just thought, fine, it's working great. Anyway, someone pointed out that it shouldn't be doing that, and you know, made me go and investigate it, and they're right. It was the feed was getting jammed. Oh dear. We've got one pad with loads of material on it, one pad with hardly anything. So that's been binding. Okay. So yeah, so they were right with that, and so yeah, it's working right now. But it's just want to say that it's very difficult to know what advice to listen to and what advice is nonsense. You know, because as a YouTuber, you get comments saying, you know, all sorts of things, and picking through which ones are absolute nonsense and which ones are actually, you know, going to be helpful is incredibly difficult. Because I'm currently working on a van up in the air on my car lift at a lovely height above my workbench, which the same sort of comment told me would never work. Do you know? So it's very difficult to know when you go through the comments. Someone says, oh, this isn't right, or you should be doing this. Well, there's 50 that say, you know, it is right, there's 50 that say it isn't, and you know, you go back and forward, and it's so difficult to decipher the nonsense from the genuine advice. So yeah, anyone, I hope no one was offended by, you know, anything from my responses or anything, but it's just, as a YouTuber, you like I say, we're currently doing something that a lot of people said would never work. And you know, and then when someone does actually say something that's true and right, you know, the world is not working right, you know, your first instance is, well, are they talking rubbish, or are they actually right? And it takes a bit of time to figure that out. To give a bit of perspective on just how wrong some of the comments are sometimes, I mean, I did see one that said, oh, hang on, wrong size. Yeah, I did see one comment that said something like, that bench will never move, and a car will never go in there, or something. It was very, very, you know, very to the point. That will never work, sort of thing. And to give an idea, I put the video out on Friday sort of late afternoon, and didn't do anything that evening. Saturday morning I got up, and Saturday morning is when we made the intro to this video. And the first thing I did was drop this bench on the floor, drive the van in, pick the van up successfully, and now I'm working on it now. So, you know, you literally, sometimes a comment could not be further from the truth. You know, it was absolutely certain that it would never, ever, ever work. But within 8 hours, the exact thing that would never work was happening successfully, do you know? So yeah, it's very hard to decipher the rubbish from the from the genuine good advice, do you know? Yeah, so that's my excuse anyway. Yeah. So that'll be why these aren't working. I mean, this whole pad's hardly touching on anything. This is only the handbrake though, these pads, but they seem contaminated. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, but there's not a lot of it touching. And then there's a lot of gouges and stuff in here. Yeah, so we'll change this, because I got one of these anyway. We'll change those shoes. That should get our handbrake working. Other side's the same. So it looks like something's got in there, you know, gravel or something. I do a lot of off-roading, and it's chewed it all up, do you know? Yeah, this side's alright, but yeah, all chewed up. So we'll change them as well, both sides. Change the disc as well while we're doing it. Right, just doing a bit of an inspection under here. See, I've done some welding up here before. I'm going to go to the car shop shortly, get a few bits, and just seeing what else I need. And look, so we need new drop links on the front. They're knackered. And then this shock absorber here, the bush there, is knackered. There we go. See that? Yeah, so they need changing. So we need new drop links. I need bush for that. Yeah, that definitely, they're really bad. That's definitely a fail. Right, I can't get the parts for a couple of days, so I'm going to do a bit of rust proofing while I wait. Look at that. Like new. 27 years old. So we just get this back end rebuilt, we've got the parts, and then we've got to do a bit of body work. While I'm waiting for the parts to get here, I might as well take the wheels off, get ready. Wheels a bit stuck on, so load it down a bit, just in case. So I normally absolutely hate working on cars because it's just so horrible being on your knees, upside down, stuff going in your eyes. You know that welding I've done, I couldn't have done it on the ground. So this thing makes a huge difference. I know I need to lower it down onto the stops for it to technically be safe, but they're not quite right at the moment. It needs levelling. If it was to fall, it would fall on the stops anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Yeah, how we can get in there. So while I'm waiting for another tin of undercoating to heat up, I'm going to get these off in preparation. Coming out. Yeah. Yeah, seized on. We're getting them off. I'm just squirting all the rust proofing down into the frame. There's a route into the frame here. Right, the rust proofing's all done, all down the frame, all in every hole I can get to. Looking quite tidy now. Still got to change the drop links, but I'm collecting them tomorrow now. So I'm not trying to go for particularly good quality here. I really don't care what my van looks like. I just want it to be functional. I had a bit of a fire. I had a bucket of water next to me because I sort of knew that some of the stuff I've been spraying might go up. And it did. But it was fine. The metal on cars being so thin just makes welding just so difficult. The welder as low as it can go, and you know, even turned down manually, and it still blows through if you even pause for just a microsecond too long. got the new drum shoes fitted. I think I've done it alright. They're so fiddly, these things. Can't stand them. Hopefully I won't ever have to do it again because it is only the handbrake. Let's see if that will fit over there. Go a bit tighter. Right, adjusted it so it's just rubbing, and then backed it off like one click. Just a slight rub, that's what we want. Excellent. Yeah. Piston of the brakes. So some new pads, there we go. Use an old brake pad as the backing for it. Let's put this carrier back on. Yeah, I think basic machinery maintenance and stuff is definitely part of this kind of lifestyle. I don't know what I would do really if I had to you know, take all my things every time something broke or something went wrong with the power system, or you know, anything. I'd like to go and take it somewhere each time. I'd never get anything done. I'm always fixing stuff. Also, then there's the cost. Like, this would have cost £1,000 to do this. Right, one side down. New pads, new calipers. I did all the brake lines recently. New discs, new handbrake. Excuse me. And new welding. Oh, and I've started doing the body filler on here as well. Just got to sand that, give it some primer. Yeah, this side's almost done. Right, got a coat of primer on here. As you can see, this door's going, so that's going to need a bit of work at some point. But yeah, I haven't gone to town sanding it, making it lovely. Just want to get it for an MOT. But structurally, lovely and strong. Got my drop links changed, so nice new shiny drop links. That shock absorber being, the bush not being great, I'm going to leave that for now because the bush is actually brand new. I just don't think it's the right part. I'll see if I can get away with that for the MOT and then change it later. Right, time to get this out of here. I haven't finished with the paint, I haven't got the right colour, it's just primered, but that's fine for the MOT. Solid, that's what matters. Lower it down. Right, van's out, lifting eyes in, time to lift this up, sweep up under it, have a clear up, put the workshop back to a usable state as a hydroelectric fabrication workshop. Let's lift this back up. There we go. Tidy up, I'll put the legs back on. There he is, looking good. It's my body work. It came out alright really, just needs painting with the right colour because it's just primered at the minute. Yeah, not too bad for a 25-year-old van. Right, bench is back up together, didn't take long. I'm ready to do hydroelectric projects again. So like I say, really pleased with how this worked out. It's went exactly to plan, exactly as I planned it to, and it is a really versatile use of this space. It was never the plan having this like this situation when I designed the building. I never intended to have like a fully functioning hydroelectric business, so this area is just going to be open for a car lift, but things changed and we adapted and it worked out really well. So I take my van for its MOT today, and then next week I've got to do get a load of materials and stuff delivered to some of my hydroelectric projects that are local to here, and then we'll be doing the windows. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.